Hello again, friends, and welcome to another day of Rocket City Trash Pandas baseball. Sorry, inside joke. As we get ready for first pitch today, the Trash Pandas hosting the Knoxville Smokies. It's game one of a six-game series. It's also Education Day here at Toyota Field, as we have 7,000 screaming kids packing into Toyota Field this morning and afternoon. Again, Josh Carey with you, joined alongside Chris Harrison back at Mission Command. Running the boards is Jeff Scarborough. This is the pregame show. The Trash Pandas will try to get things off on the right foot this week after they lost 4 of 6 on the road to Biloxi last week. That included a loss on Sunday by the final score of 8-7. That was a ball game that really Rocket City should have had. They led 3-0 at the end of half an inning, 5-2 at the end of 2 innings, and just could not hang on. Matthew Wood hit a big 3-run home run for the Shuckers in that ball game to give them the lead for good. Nick Rodriguez had a solo shot in the 8th inning for Rocket City, but it wasn't enough. Wade Meckler led off the 9th inning with a single. He was erased on a 3-6-1 double play, and then Rowdy Rodriguez ended the contest with a comebacker to the mound. And again, Biloxi wins by the final of 8-7. Here were your totals for Rocket City: 7 runs on 8 hits. They committed 3 errors in Sunday's ball game. They left 5 men on base. Meanwhile, for Biloxi, they had 8 runs on 7 hits. They committed a single error, and they left 7 men on base. Ryan Bouchard got the win in relief for the Shuckers to move to 1-0 on the season. Bouchard wound up going 4 innings. He was what they would call effectively wild. 4 innings, but he walked 5, allowed only 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, and he struck out 2. Iverson Polanco suffered the loss. Tough luck loss for him. He had actually pitched well last week, but then he ran into that buzzsaw in the 5th inning. Inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He walked 1 and struck out another. Tanner Gillis with his first save of the season, a shutout 9th inning, 1 hit, no walks, and no strikeouts. Time of the game was 2 hours and 49 minutes. The attendance, 3,205. And again, Biloxi wins the game by the final of 8-7, and with that, Rocket City falls to 9-12 on the season. Go ahead and take a look at the Major League scoreboard from last night, as it was a full slate of action on a Tuesday. We'll begin in Cleveland, where the Rays shut out the Guardians. Final there was 1-0. It was the Orioles defeating the Astros at Camden Yards. Final score of that ball game was 5-3. Reds beat up on the Rockies in Cincinnati 7-2. The final there. Phillies, hey, look, it's not much, but they're 2-0 under Don Mattingly. They blanked the Giants in Philadelphia. The final there was 7-0. Cardinals in a wild one over the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Final of that one was 11-7. Blue Jays blanked the Red Sox in Toronto. It was a 3-0 final there. Mets shut out the Nationals 8-0. That game played in Flushing. Braves continued their winning ways as they defeated the Tigers 5-2 in Atlanta. The White Sox continue to provide misery to the Angels, who are now 12-19 on the year. White Sox win by the final of 5-2. Final game of that 3-game series is this afternoon. Brewers beat up on the Diamondbacks. That game in Milwaukee, the final there was 13-2. Mariners bested the Twins in Minneapolis. The final there was 7-1. The Yankees edged out the Rangers in Arlington. The final there was 3-2. Cubs over the Padres 8-3. Rubber game of that series will be later today, as that one was played in San Diego. Out in Sacramento, it was the Royals over the A's 4-1. That game went 10 innings, and it was the Marlins defeating the Dodgers. A bit of an upset there, as the final score was 2-1 from Chavez Ravine. And right now, just a quick look at the Major League standings as we get ready for this ball game. In the American League, the Yankees lead the way at 20-10. They're a game and a half up on Tampa. Rays off to a fine start at 18-11. Meanwhile, in the Central, it's the Tigers leading the way, but they're only 15-15. A half game up on Cleveland. The Guardians are 15-16. And in the West, the A's out to a 15-14 start. They're a full game up on the Mariners, who are 15-16. Really, that division is not performing so well. In the National League, Braves lead the way in the East at 21-9. They are 7 up on the Marlins, who are only 14-16. So early on, the Braves are running away with that one. In the Central, it's really a great race so far. I know we're only a month in, but all 5 teams are above 500. Right now, it's the Reds at 19-10, a game and a half up on the Cubs, who are 18-12. Finally, in the West, the Dodgers are 20-10. They're only a half game, though, in front of San Diego. Padres off to a fine start at 19-10. So there's a quick look at the Major League standings. Before we go to break, let's give our station a chance to identify itself. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Tell you what, we'll catch that station ID when we come back. We'll take a break, come back, and take a look at the Southern League scores and standing. That's coming up right after this as you listen to Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. I'm not hearing anything, guys. Uh-oh. Hey, can someone back there talk to me? Hey, Jeff, are you back there, bud? Oh, you know what? It's not Jeff today. It's Brody. I forgot about that. Hey, guys, if you're running the commercials, I cannot hear anything. Okay, I'm going to call for a quick station ID, and then we're going to go right back to break, okay? Yeah, play the commercials. That way we'll stay on time. Okay. Josh Carey back here to wrap up the pregame show. Let's go ahead and give our station a chance to identify itself. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Panda Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. And that'll do it for the pregame show. We'll come back with starting lineups and first pitch right after this. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Okay, WAAY is going to have some dead air here, but we'll be okay. What's that? They forgot we started at 10:50, so the producer was a little behind. It's all right. It's okay.
Check, check. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check, check. 1 2 1 2. check. 1, 2. See how it's peeking right there? Check.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Toyota Field. Josh Carey joined alongside Chris Harris. Back in Mission Command running the boards is Brody Hogan, as we are ready to go with this one, the Trash Pandas and the Smokies in Game 1 of a 6-game series. It's also our second education day of the season. As you can see over on WAAY 31.6, our television partner, we got about 7,000 kids packing it in for this education day. And Chris, that always makes the atmosphere a little something different.
Yeah, about 6,200 kids from around the Tennessee Valley, and great to see them out here getting a chance to enjoy some baseball. Mother Nature didn't cooperate with us last night. We'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. But looking at today, you got a couple of teams here in the North Division who are looking up at the Chattanooga Lookouts. Both teams coming off series in which they lost 4 of 6. And I know everybody's ready to get out there and play, because in baseball, you're very routine-oriented, and they haven't played since Sunday. So looking forward to today's ball game. And man, I love seeing all the kids having a good time.
Yep, it should be a lot of fun. By the way, the Trash Pandas and Smokies met in Knoxville earlier this month, and it was Knoxville taking 4 of 6, but a lot of those games were very, very close. We'll see if Rocket City can get over the hump against these guys. Here's the starting lineup for the Smokies, who come in at 10-11 on the season. Alex Ramirez will lead things off and play center field. Hitting second will be the left fielder Jordan Wogu. Owen Ayers in the 3 position at first base. Jefferson Rojas will back cleanup. He's the shortstop. Andy Garriola in the 5 position. He'll be today's designated hitter for the Smokies. Edgar Alvarez bats 6. He's at the hot corner. Carter Trice will hit 7th, and he's in right field. Batting 8th is the catcher Ariel Armas, and batting 9th is the second baseman Carson Seamus. The defense for the Trash Pandas, left to right, Campero, Rowdy Rodriguez, and Meckler. Third to first, Cole, McCroskey, Nick Rodriguez, and Flint. Behind the plate, Crouch, and on the hill will be Joel Hurtado. 0-1, a 7.24 ERA. He had a rough go of it last week at Biloxi, and he'll try to turn his season around this afternoon. Your umpires for today's ball game. Behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes, is Drew Bofelli. He's the crew chief. Over at first is Kaz Cousins. Your third base umpire is David Sabal. The Trash Pandas are right now taking the field wearing their camouflage tops, white bottoms. It says Rocket City in black print lettering across the front of the jersey, large black numeral on the back, and a black cap with the intertwined white RC emblem in the middle. As for the Smokies, powder blue tops, gray bottom, says Knoxville in red with gold trim across the front of the jersey, with a red numeral on the back with gold trim, the all blue cap with the KS intertwined red emblem with gold trim in the middle. Trash Pandas are on the field. We're ready for today's national anthem. Let's go down to the field for that. is McBride Elementary School with our national anthem. Nice job by them, and with that, we are ready to go with this ball game. By the way, it should be noted for Knoxville, they have a red stripe along the shirt sleeves and the sides of their jersey tops with gold trim as well. So Joel Hurtado going to the bump. Like I said, 0-1 record, a 7.24 ERA. So far, he has struggled on this young season. We know what he is capable of doing. Frankly, you can make the case he was Rocket City's best starter a season ago, but he's coming off a tough outing last time through against Biloxi. Now, he only gave up 2 runs, but it was a typical Joel Hurtado outing so far this season. 4 1/3 innings. He's done that about 3 or 4 times already this year. 5 hits, only 2 runs. They were both earned, but he also walked 3. He also struck out 3. So the roof doesn't really cave in when he's out there, but he hasn't been as crisp as he has been in the past. He'll try to get it right today.
Yeah, and Making is very familiar with this Smokies lineup. This is 5th career start against the Smokies in 2 years. 2nd this year. Comes in 1-1, a very good ERA at 2.76, 5 walks, 14 strikeouts. That covers 16 1/3 innings pitched. And if you take a look at the opposing lineup, really not a ton of production against Hurtado. So that features to be in his favor. In fact, only a couple of RBIs, 2 by Alex Ramirez, and that's will be nice to see. But for Hurtado, we know what his MO is. He tries to get as many ground balls as possible with that sinker, and hopefully today he can set the tone early throwing strikes.
4 starts this year. 1 of them came against Knoxville. That was up in Tennessee a few weeks ago. Again, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned in that game, but he did strike out 5, walked only 1. To his credit, he's been able to keep the walks down so far this season. Again, Josh Carey joined alongside Chris Harris. Back in mission command is Brody Hogan, as standing in as Alex Ramirez to lead things off in a righty-on-righty matchup. The wind whipping out to left field for the early part of this game. As the look in, the wind, and the first pitch is a fastball. It's a strike over the outer half. It's 0-1, and first pitch is at 11:08 on a cloudy and windy, yet mild Wednesday afternoon.
I'll take it.
Yep. Playing off the line at first is Flint. Hurtado rocks back, next offering. Fastball, that's going to miss down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. By the way, 70 degrees at first pitch. I mentioned Flint over at first base. Get used to that. Ben Goebel going to be on the IL for the next week as he tries to overcome a hit by pitch to his wrist from about a week ago. Next pitch, there's a fastball, and there's a strike. It will go to 1-2. Sinker that time at 95. Hurtado, 25 years old, as he'll go back to the rubber. The look in. Shaded slightly toward right center is Rowdy Rodriguez in center field. Next offering. Curve, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Pulled the string on him, fooled was Ramirez. He went high and out of the zone that time, but whiffing at it was Ramirez. Strikeout number 1 for Hurtado. 1 away in the first inning for Jordan Wogu.
Yeah, that was that funky slider frisbee.
Horizontal frisbee.
Horizontal frisbee, excuse me. Named it, and I can't remember what it was, but slider curveball, but it just floats away from you, especially as a right-handed hitter.
First pitch is outside of Wogu. It's 1-0 to Jordan, who is becoming a legend in a Knoxville uniform. 304 with a homer, 9 RBI. Has all the potential in the world, just needs to hit with more power. He's built like a power hitter. Next pitch, there's a strike as he fired a sinker again at 94, and so far Hurtado very sinker heavy as it goes to 1-1. Kids have settled in, and I'm sure you can tell over my crowd mic, there are a lot of them. 1-1 pitch. Fastball. There's another strike, as that just clipped the outside corner. 1-2. So far this season, Rocket City 1-2 in Education Days. They won their most previous contest in this ballpark against Birmingham 2 weeks ago. Hurtado. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lined into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. He threw him a slider, kept it down and away. Pretty good piece of hitting by Wogu as he'll pick up the first hit of the game for Knoxville. And 1 on with 1 out for Owen Ayers.
Yeah, that pitch was hit well back up the middle, and he threw that slider, the sweepy gyro slider again that time, but just kind of left it too much of the plate. That's why he put a good barrel on it.
First time we're looking at Ayers. He's a switch hitting catcher. As off the line at third is Cole, right against left. Very upright stance as the first pitch is a fastball that's going to miss low. 1 ball and no strikes. It's out of Sarasota, Florida, 6'1", $185. We did not see him in Tennessee. He was called up on April the 20th by the Cubs to Knoxville. The set again. Wind continues to whip out toward left as the next pitch is sliced foul. Off to the left, it goes to 1-1. It's blowing out at a good 20 miles an hour. Anyway, when he was at High A South Bend, he already had 6 home runs in only 11 games. The Cubs said, that's enough. Let's go ahead, give the guy a promotion. 1-1, a short lead at first by Wogu. Hurtado kicks and delivers. And the pitch, there's another strike. Threw him a changeup that just clipped the lower part of the zone. It's out of ball and 2 strikes. Went to the State College of Florida. No, that's not the University of Florida. That's a JUCO down there. Wound up transferring to Marshall. He'll dig back in. The left-handed hitter waits. They wheel him around to the right. Here's the 1-2. Swung, cued, foul past third. Boy, he tried to beat the shift that time and almost did it. Caught it off the end of the bat a little, and it just kicked to the left of the chalk. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last year at Myrtle Beach, Ayers had a 761 OPS. That is really, really good. Appeared in 65 games. Cubbies drafted him in the 19th round out of Marshall. The 1-2 is on the way. Swing and a miss. He got fooled on that one. Little sword swing that time on the changeup. Down and away. Strikeout number 2 for Hurtado.
It took enough off of it here to create that little bit of a deception with it, and to a left-handed batter you'll see a lot of those type of pitches, and then of course the slider more to the right-handers.
So here's Jefferson Rojas, 262 with 3 homers, 11 driven in, right against right. Hurtado, first pitch. Fastball, bounce foul to the backstop. It's 0-1. By the way, fans, yesterday it was walk-ons that fed the Trash Pandas front office. Walk-On Sports Bistro's mission is to bring people together over great food, sports, and a sense of belonging while bringing game day energy and passion to everything they do. Rojas ready to go. Remember this name, you're going to hear plenty of him in the years to come. Next pitch, fastball, bounce to short. In McCroskey, up, underhand toss to second for the 6-4. Fielder's choice to retire Wogu, and just like Trash Pandas front office later today, because nothing says I love you like nacho cheese at 9 a.m. Anyway, at Taco Mama, they believe in supporting our local businesses and serving the guests the freshest ingredients possible. They believe any time is a good time for a margarita or an ice-cold cerveza. They believe in people helping people. Starting lineup for the Trash Pandas, again, 9-12 on the year. Wade Meckler leads it off. He will play right field. Batting second is Gustavo Campero. He will be over in left. In the 3 position is the center fielder, Rowdy Rodriguez, and batting cleanup is the first baseman, Tucker Flint. This is a right-on-left matchup. The first pitch by Yinri Rojas is going to miss inside, and it's going to go to 1-0. Matthew Lugo will hit fifth, and Lugo is the designated hitter today. Batting sixth is the third baseman, Harold Cole. Nick Rodriguez in the seventh spot at second. Josh Crouch does the catching and hits eighth as the fastball catches the inside corner. Going to even out 1-1. Matt McCroskey will bat ninth, and he will play short. Rojas 0-1, a 9.64 ERA. There's a look at all those school buses beyond the right field wall as the 1-1 swung, hit foul at home plate as Meckler fouled it off. It's 1-2. Wade is .379 with 3 homers and 8 driven in. Another good week against Biloxi. He finished 7 of 21. I'll take that. Rojas, next offering. That'll miss high and away. That was another fastball. Going to go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rojas, Rocket City has seen this guy several times the last couple of seasons. The right-hander rocks back. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got the changeup by him at 86. He actually hung it up there a little bit, but Wade couldn't take advantage. He strikes out swinging. Strikeout number 1 for Rojas, and 1 away in the first inning for Gus Campero. The defense for the Smokies, left to right, Wogu, Ramirez, and Trice. Third to first, Alvarez, Rojas, Simas, and Ayers. Behind the plate is Armas, and on the hill is Yinri Rojas. And by the way, Ayers, I mentioned he's a switch hitting catcher, but he also plays first. As Gus goes after the first pitch, lofts it down the line and left. Giving chase is Alvarez, but that'll land in the seats about 10 rows back, and it's 0-1.
Always one of those days. I'm glad we have the high nets, but you still get some balls over that net. Looks like everybody's okay over there.
Those kids, they want to run around and they have a ton of energy, but you got to still keep an eye on the game as it goes to 0-1 on Campero. Rojas, Rocket City saw him back on April the 10th as the fastball misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Went 4 innings in that game, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned. Struck out 3, got a no decision in a 9-6 Trash Pandas win. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fooled them on the changeup. Campero whipped at it high and away. It goes 2-1-2. This guy 22 years young. As he'll look back in. Shaded up the middle. The shortstop Rojas, and now Campero will call time. Last time out, which was on the 22nd against Chattanooga, Rojas went 4, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, but struck out 6. That was a season high. As the fastball called strike 3. That caught the outside corner. Campero knew it, and Yinri Rojas with back-to-back Ks get his day started. 2 up, 2 gone for Rowdy Rodriguez.
That's a simple 4-seam fastball, but he has been able to locate his pitches well so far in this ball game, and nice early start from these 2 starting pitchers. Was kind of curious how the game would go after 2 days off, but these pitchers in control.
Rowdy 246, 3 dingers, 15 driven in. Keep in mind, Rojas has not made it past the 4th inning as Rodriguez goes after the first pitch and skies it into shallow right. Charging in, Trice still coming. Called off by the second baseman, Simas, who Top of the Northrop Grumman second inning, no score. Rocket City and Knoxville due up for the Smokies. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Garriola, Alvarez, and Trice against Joel Hurtado, who allowed a single in the first inning, but also struck out 2 and got out of the frame unscathed. Right against right as Garriola, the DH, stands in. And the first pitch to him is going to be down and away. That'll be a curveball. And it's 1-0 on the right-handed hitter, Garriola, and even 400 for the year, 4 homers and 15 driven in. Off the line at first is Flint. Everyone else is straight away. Next pitch by Hurtado. Swing and a miss. He got the sinker by him at 94. It goes to 1-1. I mentioned earlier Rocket City 1-2 on education days, but very easily they could be 3-0 as Hurtado gets ready. The 1-1 fastball swung through and missed, went high and tight on the right-handed hitter. 1-2. 3 weeks ago, they played these guys in Knoxville. It really wasn't an education day. It was more of a business person special. Rocket City was up 3 late, wound up losing 8-7. And then last week, 2 outs, no one on base, bottom 9 against Biloxi. Rocket City couldn't finish the deal and lost in extras. So these early starts have been a little uneven for the Trash Pandas in the early going. 1-2. Missing high with the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Something crazy about that series in Knoxville, and you've alluded to it, was Rocket City had a lead, albeit in one of them it was 1-0, but they had a lead in every game. Blue leads of 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and what could have been in that series.
The 2-2 swung, popped up. Into shallow left, out goes McCroskey, the shortstop. He calls everyone off, and about 5 feet out, he makes the catch as Garriola pops to short for out number 1. You folks on 31.6, you just saw it on your screens. This is a bit of a tricky situation for those folks working on that new clubhouse in left field. They got to be aware and make sure that no one sends a home run ball their way. They got the hard hat on, but that only does so much.
Taking a lunch over there and getting a chance to watch some high-level baseball. That's not bad.
One away for Edgar Alvarez, 136, 3 home runs, 9 driven in. Right against left, first pitch. Fastball, there's a strike. And it goes to 0-1 on the left-handed hitter. One of them taking a little siesta out there.
Don't let his boss see that.
Yeah, have a good one, pal. Here's the 0-1 pitch. The fastball down and in, 1-1. I don't know how you keep working out there. I mean,
that's true.
The wind's blowing out that way, too.
Yeah, that wind's really blowing. I mean, a fly ball easily can go out right now.
Hurtado looks in on Alvarez. Next pitch. A swing and a miss. Alvarez has really been struggling as he missed the sinker that time. It goes to 1-2. Well, maybe someone got in his ear. Yeah. Our siesta-ing fella out there just sat up. Now he's at attention.
Hopefully that'll be ready. Of course, when the Smokies come back, they'll be back in July. It'll be ready for those guys for sure.
Time called as Alvarez steps out. Actually, after this homestand, Rocket City hits the road for 2 weeks. Maybe an outside shot. That's done by the time we get back, but that's a stretch maybe. 1-2 on Alvarez. Off the line at third. Cold, next offering. That'll miss in the dirt. Threw him a changeup, and it's 2-2. And this is kind of where Hohel has struggled. Now, he looked good in the first, but he'll get ahead in the count, doesn't always finish guys off. A lot of deep counts with Hurtado in the early part of this season. See if he can put away Alvarez here. Open stance for the left-handed hitter. The 2-2. Swung and lifted. Deep right. Going back Meckler near the track. He'll circle, camp under it, make the catch. That's out number 2. Boy, off the bat, I wasn't so sure, but the wind is blowing the other way, and it held up, and Meckler made the grab a step shy of the warning track.
Yeah, we didn't get the metrics on it, but that ball was hit well on a pitch that was in. Not a bad pitch at all. It was a fastball at 95, but he was able to put barrel on it.
2 outs in the top of the Northrop Grumman second. Here's Carter Trice, 243, no homers, and 2 driven in. Right against right, first pitch, Hurtado. Swung, lined into left center for a base hit. Past a leaping McCroskey over to get to a Campero. He gets the ball, spins, and beautifully gets it back in, holding Trice to a single. 1 on with 2 out for Ariel Armas.
That's a good swing. Carter had a great series at home against Chattanooga. Was on base 9 times in his 5 starts. Had a couple of doubles, couple of steals. We'll see how aggressive he wants to be on the bases here.
Armas 224, no homers and 8 driven in. Short lead at first by him as Flint will hold him aboard. A look back at first as Hurtado will go back to work. First pitch on the way. Swung, bounced softly, coming off the line, nicely fielded on 2 hops by Flint. Moving to his right, he feeds Hurtado, covering underneath. 3-1 on the putout, and just like bottom of the Northrop Grumman second, no score, Rocket City and Knoxville. Fans, the mission at Northrop Grumman is to be at the forefront of technology and innovation, delivering superior capability in tandem with maximized cost efficiencies. The security solutions they provide help secure freedoms for our nation as well as those of our allies. Do it for the Trash Pandas, middle part of the order. Flint, Lugo, and Cole against Yenry Rodriguez, who tossed a 1-2-3 first inning. He struck out 2 of the 3 men he faced. Right against left as Flint is ready to go. First pitch. Tucker goes after the first one and lofts it foul off to the left. It's 0-1. Tucker suddenly up there to 265 with 1 homer and 14 driven in. He's been seeing the ball well of late.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat well and a lot of extra base hits. And as we've talked about a lot, really using that opposite field to push balls the other way and getting on base. He also walked 5 times. He was on base 11 times in that series last week.
6 of 20 against Biloxi last week as the pitch is high. It'll go to 1-1 on Tucker.
One thing we talk about with the walks, last week I was curious. Trash Pandas walked 33 times. That was tied for second in the league. Only Chattanooga walked more. They walked 41 times against the Smokies last week.
The 1-1 ripped foul past first as Flint narrowly missed a double. 1-2. And here's the deal. That's a league-wide thing, and really, I think, a double-A thing. Everyone's got the walks up. Everyone, the offense seems to be up pretty much everywhere, but especially in the Southern League. But Rocket City, they've been, well, you talk to some of the Angels coaches, they'll tell you the offense is up everywhere across the organization. 1-2 on Flint. Next pitch, Rojas just missed down and in. Tried the changeup, but it was a little low. 2-2 on Tucker.
And a great conversation with Phil Plantier, and great hitting guru in this Angels organization, the hitting coordinator. Let's finish that after this pitch.
Here's the 2-2 on the way. Swung on, lofted along the line and right. Will it stay fair? It will, as it 1 hops and goes over the wall for a ground rule double. Looked like he was out in front a little bit, but still he was able to hook that ball off the bat. Was Tucker 93 off the barrel. He'll pick up the double and an early double for the Trash Pandas.
Just a great piece of hitting there for Tucker, and I don't think he truly got all of it that time as settles for the double, bounced off the rock porch out there.
Well, look at it again. Man, that ball just kind of knuckled out there and 1 hop the warning track and went into the rock porch.
By the way, that's his 7th double on the season for Tucker.
And now Matthew Lugo, 273 with 9 RBI, right on right. And the first pitch is a fastball over the outer half. It's 0-1.
But talking to Phil Plantier, he was talking about the single A teams for the Angels, they're scoring a ton of runs. They're walking. They're getting on base. And, you know, it's nice to see because that was the total opposite last year in the Angels system.
Right against right. Next pitch, Lugo. Way down and away. Missing with a changeup. It's 1-1. Here's what's interesting. So on Sunday, 7 runs on 8 hits for the Trash Pandas, 6 on 11 for Saturday, 8 of 8 on Friday, 5 of 9 on Thursday, 5 of 13 in Wednesday's extra inning game, 3 of 6 last Tuesday. Here's the point I'm making. Here's the 1-1. And the pitch is down and away, 2-1. They might not be registering a lot of double-digit hit games, but they get to that, 6 to 9 area. And what you do, when you have that and you add on the walks as well, the offense just opens and you get a lot of extra base hits, and that's where the runs come from. 2-1 on Lugo. Next offering. Fastball down and away, 3 balls and a strike. Lugo looks like he's turning around a little bit. He scuffled a couple weeks ago against Birmingham. 5 of 21 last week. Look back of second. 3-1 pitch. Swung, ripped into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. At third is Flint. He will score easily. Getting the ball back in is Trice as they throw behind Lugo. Matthew is back safely at first. He'll drive in his 10th run of the year, and it's 1-0.
That's a brilliant start to the inning, and that was just a major league swing out over the plate or outside. You'll see this fastball from Rojas, and he just drives it the other way, put the barrel on it.
So 1-0 Rocket City with an early lead, and here's Harold Cole, 219, 2 home runs, and 22 driven in. The wind continues to whip out toward left. Rojas in some trouble here. Runner will go. First pitch is outside. Throw to second is going to be in time to get Lugo. Over to cover the second baseman, Seamus, but one thing we've learned about Joe Kruzel's team, they are very aggressive on the base pass. They went ahead, put Lugo on the move, and Armas was up to the task.
Tell you what, Armas, the pop time there, look at this pop time for him, how quickly he got the ball out of his glove. Didn't see it necessarily that time, but a good tag.
Pitches a strike to Cole, and the count evens. Now 1-1. It should be noted when they played in Knoxville, there was one game in particular where Armas couldn't throw anyone out. I think Rocket City stole 5 or 6 bases against him. Next pitch swung through and missed. 1-2. So the Trash Pandas thinking of that again as they put guys in motion early. 1-2 on Cole. Rojas delivers. Fastball grounded right at third. To his left of field, Alvarez. Throw across the diamond is in time. 2 outs in the Northrop Grumman second. No one on base for Nick Rodriguez. 243, 1 homer, and 10 driven in. Fans Defense Pest Solutions is a proud sponsor of Rocket City Trash Pandas baseball. Honest service you can trust to protect what matters most. That's Defense Pest Solutions. Rodriguez in a righty on lefty matchup. Open stance for him. First pitch on the way. And there's a fastball that clips the outside corner. 0-1 on Nick.
An impressive home run in that game on Sunday. They cut the lead to 8-7 in the 8th inning.
Next offering. Down and in with a changeup, 2-0.
He just kind of flipped it the other way for a home run. It was impressive. If he can add some pop to all the other tools that he has in the batter's box, look out.
He's got to have a big week. He just shaved the mustache. He's 1-1. Next offering, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. If you're going to go without the mustache, my friend, you better produce.
I about didn't recognize Wade Meckler. He got a clean cut. Kept the mustache, though.
1-2 on Enrod. Open stance for him. Rojas trying to end the inning. The 1-2. In the dirt, almost hit him. Actually, it did hit him. It skipped in the dirt, and it just clipped Rodriguez, says home plate umpire Drew Buffelli, and I don't think Yenry Rojas agrees with that. He pleads his case, but no argument from the Smokies.
Yeah, well, we saw a lot of hit-by-pitches last week, mostly by the Biloxi. Realize we hit 11 batters last week?
Yes.
11 for Biloxi.
It was a long, long week in terms of that. Here's Josh Crouch, who's appeared in only one other game this season, 0 for 4. Right on right. And the first pitch to him misses down and away. 1-0 on the curveball. Crouch on the dead list until last week and finally made his first appearance in a game against Biloxi. I believe it was last Thursday. Right against right. 1-0. That one will clip the outside corner. That's another sinker. Going to even at a ball and a strike. A lot of room on the right side. Shaded up the middle. The second baseman, Seamus, almost directly behind the bag at second. From the belt. And now a quick move over to first. In with a head first dive is Nick Rodriguez. Crouch out of Central Florida. One of two former Golden Knights on this team, along with Nadjer Victor, who continues to impress out of the bullpen. Wind continues to whip out toward left. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got the fastball by him, high and tight. He went out of the zone, and it's 1-2. Rojas trying to end the inning. And now Crouch will ask for and receive time. One run already in the bottom of the second. Rocket City leading it 1-0. Crouch ready to go. From the belt is Rojas. The 1-2 on the way. Down and away. Missed with a curveball that time. It's going to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crouch, one of 3 catchers on this Rocket City team. Crouch was put on the active list once Cole Fontenelle went on the injured list. Next pitch. Swung on, a looping line drive, trickling into right field for a base hit. Rodriguez at second, he'll stop there. And a solid single for Crouch. That'll be his first hit of the season.
Yeah, carrying 3 catchers now, and Josh, a veteran, and just a 2-strike swing right here for him as shoots it the opposite way.
Only 76 off the bat, but it works just fine. It looks like a line drive in the box score. So 2 on with 2 out. Here's Mac McCroskey. Forgot to mention, by the way, Rocket City did make 1 addition to their roster. As again, Ben Goebel went on the IL, pretty much replacing him as Errol Vera, who we've seen each of the last 3 seasons. Right on right. First pitch to Mac. Fastball, there's a strike. It's 0-1 to McCroskey, 180 with 2 homers and 7 driven in.
Even the suites are jam-packed today. A lot of times on school days, you may not get as big a crowd up there, but jam-packed all over this ballpark today.
Right against right, next offering. Down and away, a slider 1-1. Well, it's an education day down here, but you go up to that suite level, that's a great way to do a business person special, have a meeting, things along those lines. You can do that.
You got any groups today?
No, not today. At least I don't think so. I might have to check on that. It's 1-1 to Mac. Next pitch. Fastball down and away, 2-1, but even on non-game days, these suites are open to the general public. For meetings, we always have like business presentations in our stadium club. Rodriguez away at second, leading at first is Crouch. Playing behind him is Ayers, the first baseman. The 2-1. And the next pitch misses outside. That was a fastball.
Call it a strike.
Oh, he called it a strike. Never mind. It was off the plate according to pitch strikes, but he rung them up, so it's 2-2. A break there for Rojas, who's struggling a bit here in the second. The runners lead again. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So McCroskey fans at it. That'll Top of the third inning, Rocket City leading it 1-0. Fans at AFIX were the Tennessee Valley's premier commercial grounds experts. From routine maintenance to full landscape design build, irrigation, hardscapes, and sodding, we handle it all. Find out more at afix.com. Due up for the Smokies, it'll be their 9-1-2 hitters, Seamus, Ramirez, and Wogu, right against right. Seamus, 253, 2 dingers, 11 driven in, and the fastball hits the inside corner. It's 0-1 on the right-handed hitting Seamus, formerly of the Red Sox organization. I was really impressed with him when these two teams clashed in Knoxville. Another fastball in there again, 0-2, just knows the game and has already played at a very high level. He was at AAA Worcester for a bit, was Seamus. Off the line at first, Flint, they play him straight away in the outfield. Hurtado delivers, and the breaking ball looped out into right. On the move is Meckler, dives and makes a tremendous catch for out number 1. Well, he may have shaved the beard, but it didn't slow him down. A great ranging, diving play in right field by Meckler.
Yeah, this is high range of difficulty there when knocking it down, but I tell you, Wade Meckler, he is a very, very talented young man. That
may have been the defensive web gem of the year thus far. One gone, back to the top of the order, and Alex Ramirez. Right against right as the wind continues to blow out toward left. First pitch down and away, 1-0, and it should be noted, and Chris mentioned this, with the crosswind, that means the ball is going into the wind and being knocked down, so you've got to react quickly and make up a lot of ground. Right on right as looking back in, Hurtado. Next offering. There's a strike, going to even at 1-1. You look at a guy like Meckler, you may wonder yourself, what's he doing here at AA? He's played in the majors, spent a lot of time at AAA. Why is he here? Well, there's just not enough space at Salt Lake right now, and they want him to get regular reps, and so that's why he's here at Rocket City. 1-1 off the line at first. Flint, next pitch is a swing and a miss. It goes to 1-2 as he offered at the changeup, but that's a good problem to have if you're the Angels.
Yeah, I had a chance to really talk in detail about Wade Meckler's story. He has a tremendous story. In fact, it's in our game day program. I'll put it on trashpandasbaseball.com too.
1-2 is swung and rolled to short. Moving to his left along 2 hops is McCroskey. Fires onto first in time. That'll be the second out of the third inning as Ramirez is now 0 for 2. And here's Jordan Wogu, who's singled his first time up.
That's 4 ground outs, by the way, for Hurtado, along with those 2 strikeouts. Some line drives, but if you noticed all the line drives, other than that ball down the line, they've got a lot of top spin on
it. Yeah. Not too many things have been hit sharply, although the single by Wogu was legit. Right against right, first pitch. That one hit hard, but right at the second baseman, Rodriguez. Shaded up the middle, and he hit it right at him, did Wogu. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Rocket City with the lead. Fans, Trash Panda fans, if you want to continue following the Angels' top prospects and tomorrow's stars wherever you go, then be sure to download the Valley Sports Live app. It's hands down the best way to watch minor league baseball. Get every game at your fingertips all season long, plus real-time in-hand stats and an interactive bingo game you can play right along with every pitch. You can watch from your phone or your TV, and the best part, it's completely free. Just head to the App Store and download Valley Sports Live today. First pitch was a strike to Meckler, 0-1. Wade struck out swinging his first time. Off the line at third is Alvarez. They wheel him around to the right, and the next pitch is high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, you know the rule, Chris. When a guy makes a great defensive play in the previous half inning, he has to get a hit.
Yeah. Tough at bat for him that first time up. That Rojas did a nice job.
And there's a swing and a drive into deep left center. Back Ramirez. Track, wall, there you go. I love it when they listen to me. 99 off the bat, 400 to left center field. Home run number 4, RBI number 9. It's 2-0.
Yeah, he got a pitch up in the zone, and boy, howdy, he didn't miss it. That was a changeup. I mean, the wind's blowing out that way, but that ball was crushed. And good for Wade Meckler. He's got that sneaky power, man. That's his team leading 4th.
99 off the bat. And it's a 2-0 ball game. And he's wearing the astronaut helmet with the little Davy Crockett raccoon's tail in the back. As the first pitch misses high to Campero, 1-0. So he's an impressive-looking ball player, and if I'm an Angels fan tuning in right now, I might want to keep an eye on him. Campero struck out looking his first time, and he takes the next pitch high. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's a remarkable story, Wade. I mean, he played high school ball in Anaheim, Esperanza High School, and it's a tremendous story. And coming home, I guess you will, with the Angels organization.
The 2-0 swung on, popped up into shallow left, out the third baseman Alvarez by about 5 feet. He makes the catch as he fights the wind a little bit. Campero pops to third. He's 0 for 2, 1 away for Rowdy Rodriguez, who popped up to second his first time. But you talk about Wade, this guy was really an afterthought entering college. He had to walk on to Oregon State.
Well, he barely walked on at Oregon State. There wasn't a Division I, Division II NAI that really wanted him, and he was going to go JUCO, and then an Oregon State coach saw him play in travel ball or in a summer league and give him a chance to walk on.
First pitch is hit foul at home plate by Rodriguez. It's 0-1.
Then he got cut twice at Oregon State.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice. When there was a brand new coaching staff, they let him go, then came back after COVID, cut him again, kept working out, and they brought him back. And he was an All-American.
He's like Rudy, except he can play. Next pitch is cut through and missed. It will go to 0-2. Looking back in, Rodriguez. And now Rowdy will step out of the box for just a moment. But when you hear a story like that, it makes you wonder about what we're doing with the draft. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, bounced at first, waiting back on 2 hops, knocking it down is Ayers. He'll run to the bag in time, 3 unassisted. 2 outs in the third inning. Here's Tucker Flint, who doubled and scored his first time. But look, the draft now down to 20 rounds, and we don't know what the future holds with that. But you start to hear stories like Wade Meckler's, and you wonder, where can we find more opportunities for guys who might not pop up on draft boards but still have something to offer? And I don't know the answer to that, but if Wade Meckler is rolling through about 5 years ago, I don't know if he signs with anyone. As the pitch cut on and missed by Flint, it's 0-1.
He ended up getting drafted by the Giants in the 8th round, but he was expected to be a day 2 or maybe even day 3 guy.
Next pitch swung on, fouled off to the left. It's 0-2. I guess what I'm saying is further down the line.
Oh, sure, yeah.
When we see what the evolution of the draft will be, that's where I get a little concerned.
It's crazy how his story reflects a lot that you and I both talked to. He had not heard from the Giants at all, really, especially about being picked in the 8th round, and then they pick him up.
0-2 to Flint. Next pitch on the way. Swung on, looping liner into right for a base hit again. Very similar to his double. Just didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it to lob it over the head of Seamus. That'll be Tucker's second hit of the day, and that's already the 5th hit for Rocket City. 1 on with 2 out for Matthew Lugo, who singled in a run his first time and was thrown out trying to steal. As we look at this one again, it's interesting to hear you say that. When I do my podcast with a lot of our players, I ask them, when you were coming out of college, did you hear from the Angels? Most of them say no. So it's not an uncommon practice as the pitch is swung and fouled back by Lugo. 0-1. Harold Cole will jog from his on-deck position and pick up the loose baseball. Matthew ready to go again. Here's the set at the belt by Rojas. The 0-1 pitch. There's a strike. Throw him a four-seam fastball over the outer half. It's 0-2 and a chance for Rojas to wrap up the inning. By the way, coming up next half inning, we'll have our sponsor, Hannah Kitty from the Alabama Family Central. She'll be joining us. 1-2, here it is. Swung and hit foul straight back again. Threw him another curveball, and it's going to stay 0-2 on Lugo. Speaking of major leaguers, Lugo had more than a cup of coffee with the Angels last year, played over 30 games for them. From the belt, 0-2. Swung, jammed him, a little cue shot to second. A lot of topspin, but up with it is Seamus. He'll throw it on to first in time. Second. And we'll be going off this. We move to the top of the third inning, the top of the fourth inning. It's a 2-0 ball game. Rocket City leading Knoxville, and due up for the Smokies, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Ayers, Rojas, and Garriola against Joel Hurtado, who has tossed 3 shutout innings and allowed only 2 hits. As Hurtado will look in. And the first pitch of the frame is a fastball looped out into left center field. On the move, though, Rodriguez, 1 pitch, 1 out as he puts it away as Ayers flies out to center. Joining me for our sponsor inning from Alabama Family Central, it is Hannah Ketty. Hannah, so great to have you with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Great to have you back with us. Yeah, you were here two weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, for the original Education Day. For those of you on radio, I'll keep you up to date on what's happening, but Hannah, why don't you tell us about Alabama Family Central?
Yeah, of course. AlabamaFamilyCentral.org is a statewide resource hub dedicated to serving Alabama families, parents, and caregivers. Our mission is to provide trusted information, resources, and local care to really allow Alabama families to thrive.
The count is 1-0 as Hurtado peers back in. Next pitch to Rojas. Line drive right at third as leaping up there to get it was Cole. That's out number 2. And unlike last time, Hannah, these guys are moving along. So why don't you tell us the type of resources you can offer to families?
Of course, yes. There's a ton of resources online, everything ranging from childcare, health, education, and family services. The website is super easy to use, very intuitive and user-friendly. So you can there's an abundance of resources available to families.
Now, are your services free, and who can access them?
They are free. They are accessible to anyone, and I should say the website is free, and they're accessible to anyone in Alabama. And so we like to say we're here for you.
Count is 0-1 on Andy Garriola, and he goes after the next pitch, lines it out into left. Chasing it down, though, is Campero, and the inning is very quickly over. This is the exact opposite of what happened last time. Let's go ahead and work through this. How can people get involved with and support? First pitch is a strike to Harold Cole, 0-1. Rocket City up 2-0. Boys are playing like they got a hot day tonight. Here to give you the play-by-play is Chris Harris.
I tell you, nice to see the sun popping out too. Behind those clouds, we've had a weary atmosphere for sure. Well, the right-handed batter Harold Cole takes a strike. It's 0-2. Well, these starting pitchers have done a pretty good job to this point. 2 runs on 5 hits for Rocket City, no runs on 2 hits for Knoxville. And how about Hurtado? He's right at 40 pitches through 4 innings after a 1-2-3 top of this 4th inning. 1-2 on Cole. First time up, he bounced out to third. The pitch, it's taken outside for a ball, and it's 1-2, or rather 2-2. Yeah, the sun popping out behind the clouds. It was a very stormy night here in this area. A lot of the southeast too. Here's a 2-2 pitch on the way. A big swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Cole as Rojas went up the ladder with that pitch and gets the strikeout. That's his 4th, and that'll bring in Nick Rodriguez, the Trash Pandas second baseman, who was hit by a pitch his first time up.
How about we play a top of the 5th, have the skies open up for a huge torrential thunderstorm, we'll call it night.
There is a chance for a pop-up this afternoon, but hopefully it'll stay away. Pitch down and in, ball 1 to Nick. Trashman has already 5 hits. This has been an offense that has led the league really since day 1 in runs scored. 1-0 pitch fouled straight back by Nick. And the count evens up. Coming into today, averaging 6.3 runs per game. That's tops in the Southern League and 4th in all of AA baseball. In fact, the clip through the first 21 games, second most in the Southern League since 2005. Rodriguez sends one on the ground foul, pass first. Darren Brown, first base coach, picks it up, tosses it towards the crowd. In fact, the team that's, well, the only team that's higher than Rocket City through 21 games was the 2010 Smokies. The 1-2 pitch, and that's a fastball that just misses off the inner edge. 2-2. That was a team that had Robinson, Chirinos, Blake Lally. It was a good team. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. Chases one high and out of the zone. That was a curveball at 83 miles an hour. Back-to-back strikeouts, and that's 5. Well, we have a second. It's the top of the hour. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Bally Sports Live. First pitch foul back by Josh Crouch, who singled his first time up. Chris Harris, Josh Carey with you on this Education Day. Already seeing some students heading towards the exits already.
What? No.
And we're just in the bottom of the 4th. Maybe they're just moving around, getting some exercise. Pitch popped up foul, right side. That'll drift out of play. 0-2 on Crouch.
No way. 1 hour? Well, maybe they want to beat the traffic.
I'd say it was a very early arriving bus day. We open gates, all gates open at 9:30 for these 11:05 games. Here's an 0-2, and it's down and away for a ball. It's 1-2.
Maybe the teacher's being mean and making them take another math class. What do you think?
Yeah. But those yellow dogs out there, those school buses, were rolling in about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. There's a ball popped up on the first base side, foul territory, and that'll reach the seats. Oh,
Young lady?
did it hit her?
No, it did not hit her, but there was a young lady sitting right behind the dugout who was not looking up, and it almost got her on the coconut.
The very edge of the dugout.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Josh. Rojas up to 68 pitches. His 69th is in the dirt low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shout out to Ricky Fernandez, our senior director of entertainment and all kind of things. He is in charge of these school days. 2-2 pitch. Popped up down the right field line, foul.
He hasn't been busy at all, not one bit.
And it's incredibly busy when you have over 6,000 kids and just that many school groups here. But with the weather and having to field all those phone calls, well, are you playing tomorrow? Is the time still the same? He's going to be a very happy man today. Fastball that time is outside, and it's 3-2.
I encouraged him to bring a sleeping bag for tonight because I don't know if he'll have the strength to drive home.
He's something else. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Crouch. Here's the payoff pitch from Rojas. Swing and a miss. He chases it. Actually, that was at the bottom of the zone, but a good pitch on the curveball from Rojas, and he's back here at Toyota Field. Trash Pandas will come to bat as Rocket City, they lead it 2-0 here at Toyota Field. Glad to have you with us on this kind of overcast, sun trying to pop out day as Joel Hurtado, first pitch is a ball. It's 1-0 on Edgar Alvarez. Rocket City with those 2 runs on 5 hits, no runs on 2 hits for Knoxville, as Hurtado has been the motto of efficiency so far. Delivers a strike over on the inside corner. The count's even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1. Ronnie's next pitch swung on, lifted high in the air towards deep right center field. Going back is Ronnie Rodriguez against the wall. He'll track it down, and he makes the catch. That was a brilliant play, going straight back, and Rowdy Rodriguez, who had a workout last week in Biloxi on balls really hit about the same way, that time goes back and crashed into the wall there for good measure. Is able to make that catch, and that is out number 1. Hurtado all of a sudden now has retired 3, 6, 7, 8 in a row, going back to a 2-out single from this guy, Carter Trice, back in that 2nd inning. So Trice is the batter. Right-handed hitter takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Hurtado winds and fires, and the slider catches the outside corner. We'll have a doubleheader tomorrow to make up last night's rainout. And the first pitch of Game 1 will be at 4:05. So a 4:05 first pitch tomorrow for Game 1. Here's an 0-2. And it's a slider taken down and away, but Josh Crouch liked the location of that pitch on 1-2. Brody Hogan's back at the studio today producing the ball game. Doubleheader tomorrow. 4:05 is first pitch of Game 1. There's another slider. It's fouled away on this first base side by Trice. And it's 1-2. Trice from Richmond, Virginia, played his college ball at NC State. He was a 12th round pick by the Chicago Cubs in that 2023 draft. Battle here with Hurtado. He winds, he deals. Fastball fouled straight back. Well, taking a look around the Southern League today. They're certainly not the only day game in Double-A baseball or in minor league baseball today. The 1-2 offering now swung on, and this 1-2 pitch is popped in the air out towards shallow left center. Everybody converging on it. Now the left fielder, that's Gustavo Campero, takes charge. He'll make the catch. The catcher slash outfielder does a nice job. That can be a very dangerous play when it's kind of in no man's land out there. You got the second baseman, the shortstop, center fielder, and there's Campero that calls everybody off. Good communication, and that's out number 2. 9 straight retired now by Hurtado. And here's Ariel Armas, who swings, grounds one back to Hurtado, who puts the glove up, makes a nice snag, runs it over towards first base, and the side is retired. He's through 5. So Mac McCroskey will lead things off for Rocket City as the Trash Pandas lead it 2-0 on this Wednesday morning, heading into the afternoon now. And a pitching change is made by the Smokies as their new pitcher is the right-hander Ben Johnson. There's a ball bunted beautifully down the third base line. Barehand pickup. Alvarez fires to first, but it's not in time. And McCroskey's safe at first on a bunt single. That was a beautiful bunt. A second look at this one, he was surprising everybody there. Alvarez did the best he could, but McCroskey beat it out. And Mac, who had 3 hits last Friday in the ball game, has his first hit today. 1 for 2, and now back to the top of the lineup with the league's top hitter, Wade Meckler's. McCroskey draws a throw at first, and he just barely got back into the bag at first. So Ben Johnson takes over, the former Georgia Southern Eagle, the Georgia native, as Meckler, who homered his last time up, waits, and the first pitch to him. No, instead a check on that runner. He didn't get him, and they're going to have to give him second base. You can only have 1 disengagement, and if you don't get him on the second, they get second base. So up to second base goes McCroskey on the pitch violation, or the, I'll tell you, it was close, but he just got back in. You got to be sure on that second one. And I tell you what, those are 2 good pickoff moves. But in this world of baseball, you get 1 chance. If you don't get them on the second, you get a free bag. One of the new rules in the pitch clock rules in minor league baseball. That one fouled back by Meckler. 0-1, so McCroskey at second base. And he's in scoring position. Here's the next to Wade. Speed pitch taken a little bit off the inner edge that time, maybe high. Didn't miss by much. And it's a ball and a strike to Meckler. Came in batting .379. Now at .383, that leads the Southern League. He was leading the league in batting average, on base percentage, and OPS entering play today. The 1-1 pitch. And a check swing bounce foul. Over towards that third base Smokies dugout. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. So we'll give you the final line on the starting pitcher for the Smokies today. We'll do that in just a second. As Johnson checks that runner at second base and delivers a pitch high to Meckler. So Rojas goes the first 4 innings and allows 2 runs on 5 hits. Those were 2 earned runs. Ended up walking at none and striking out 6. He pitched pretty doggone well. Next offering from Johnson's outside, and it's a full count. Rojas threw 72 pitches. 47 were for strikes. With the rain out yesterday, it does impact the rotations for both teams. As tomorrow, I believe in Game 2, both teams are having kind of a bullpen day. I know the Trash Pandas are. 3-2, instead of check on that runner at second base, the ball hits McCroskey. That was kind of a half type of a throw. Ended up hitting McCroskey in the back. Started kind of halfway not to throw it because there really wasn't anybody at the bag. With the count full on Meckler. On deck is Gustavo Campero. Trash Pandas trying to add to their 2-0 lead. McCroskey dancing off second. The pitch is high and outside, ball 4. Another walk issued to Wade Meckler as he's on board for the second time this afternoon. And now it's Campero with 2 ducks on the pond and nobody out. We'll see how Joe Krusel wants to play this. You've got a really good hitter at the plate in Campero, but you also have a potential opportunity to move those runners up for some hot hitters as well. Rowdy Rodriguez and Tucker Flynn as the heart of the lineup comes back up. Campero shows bunt, bunts it back to the pitcher, spinning, throwing to third, and out at third base is McCroskey. A bang-bang play, and Campero just bunted it too hard, and a heads-up play there by Johnson. to get the out at third, and no argument. Campero, you just got to keep it away from the pitcher. And Johnson pounced on it and gets that lead runner. So fielder's choice puts Campero on at first base. McCroskey forced out at third. So up to second base goes Meckler. And here is Rowdy Rodriguez, 0 for 2 so far. That was against Rojas. Next to Rowdy, the first to him is high for a ball. It's 1-0. Popped out in the first. He grounded out in the third. Tease that scoreboard. I'll take a look at it in just a second. Roddy fires, and the next to Rodriguez is a high strike. Actually above the zone. It was a ball, but he got the call. Right at the top of the zone. Well, the only other day game is in Columbus, Georgia. They were battling rain. They were postponed by rain last night. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow, too, as Rodriguez takes a pitch. That was borderline again. That one catches the outside corner, says our home plate umpire, Drew Buffelli. And it's 1-2. Well, a great week last week for Rowdy Rodriguez. He homered twice, drove in 5. He had 6 walks as well. It was 8 for 23 officially. Boosted that average up to 246. He's got 15 RBIs now. Here's a 1-2 to him. Swing and a fly ball down the right field line. Shallow coming on and making the catch is Trice. Both runners will stay put at first and second base. And now 2 away. After the inning got off to a great start. And here's Tucker Flint, who's halfway to the cycle. He's doubled and singled so far today. And that sun popping out behind the clouds. Tarp was on the field all night and threw about 8:15 or so this morning. Tucker, left-handed batter, facing Johnson. The pitch sails high. It's 1-0. That one sailed on Johnson. Take a look at his numbers. It's a pitching staff for the Smokies that comes in with a 5.63 ERA. Second to last in the league to Rocket City. The pitching's been good so far today with Hurtado. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tucker Flint. Well, for Johnson so far this year, this is his second appearance. Got the win his first time out. It was a 3-inning outing, 3 runs on 3 hits he allowed. One ball, 1 strike on Flint. Here's the next to him. He takes it, and it's just above the strike zone. 2-1. He can extend this inning. On deck is Matthew Lugo. Two one from Johnson. Swing and a ground ball out towards second base. There's Seamus, and he will take care of Flint. Boy, an inning that started out with a ton of promise. is at 4:05, and we'll have our normal Thursday promotions. Game 2 will follow Game 1 about 45 minutes after the conclusion of that first game. Part of the Throwback Thursdays this year. Those $3 domestic draft beers out there in the rock porch and the bullpen bar. Budweiser and Yingling, Bud Light, Coors Light. This will be tomorrow, plus a giveaway tomorrow as well. There's a bunt down the third base line by Seamus, and no play as Hurtado trying to get there. So did Josh Crouch, but a beautiful bunt by Seamus. And the Smokies have their first base runner since the second inning. That stops a streak of 10 in a row retired by Hurtado, who had only thrown 50 pitches through the first 5 innings. He's been brilliant so far, a season-long outing for him. And now here's Alex Ramirez. Leadoff man 0 for 2 so far against Hurtado. He has generated 6 ground balls. A lot of topspin on most of the line drives and flyouts we've seen so far. Well, the career long as far as innings pitched for Hurtado is 7. Of course, this is now his longest outing of 2026. Previous was 4 1/3, but he's gone 7 3 times over the course of his career. Here's an 0-1. Swung on line down that left field line, but hooking foul.
Chris,
Sneaks into the stands.
while we have a moment, need to give a little shout out here. Want to say hello to Mrs. Colwell's 2nd grade class at Hopi Elementary in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Now, is this Dylan Colwell's?
Exactly.
Okay.
Miss Colwell, your wonderful husband, just sent me a text asking for this little shout out, so here you go.
How about that?
Hey kids, hope you're having fun.
This is very educational.
I don't know what you're learning from us, but
Ramirez takes a ball in the dirt, low and outside. We'll see if Dylan gets any FaceTime today. Hopefully doesn't, because that would mean there would be an injury.
well, that, and let's face it, he might break a camera or two.
I'll tell you what, Dylan's the best.
He is. In fact, named the trainer of the year last year in the Southern
right.
League.
A lot of people don't realize what all other things besides being a trainer somebody like him has on his plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ramirez. The pitch from Hurtado. A bouncer foul in the box.
Dylan just texted me back, "You're the freaking best." I am going to text to him, darn right.
Oh, boy. No comment.
In real time.
1 and 2 on Ramirez. Bunt single. First base runner for the Smokies since the second inning by Seamus. Had to find a way to mix up the role that Hurtado is on. And a good bunt kind of did that. 1 and 2 on Ramirez. Long pause here from Hurtado. Big lead over there at first, and the next is pulled foul and on the ground towards the backside of that Smokies dugout. 1 and 2. Did you go down amongst the kids down
the
there?
Dennison, the proletariat, yes, I did.
How is it down there?
It is busy. I wanted to get a hot dog, but man, our concession lines are packed right now, which is good.
Did you want to jump in and offer to help out behind the counter?
No,
Okay.
I'll let them do that.
1-2 pitch, grounded deep short. McCroskey second for 1 over to first, a double play. That was bounced to first by Rodriguez, but took a nice friendly hop for Tucker Flint. That goes 6-4 to 3.
This is a nice play by McCroskey to get the ball, but watch what Rodriguez does right here. That throw is actually a little behind him, and you got a fast man going down the line. And so what he does is, instead of trying to torque his body and get the ball over there on the fly, he throws it on a hop. He knows it's going to get there right on line. Beautifully done by Rodriguez.
It's one of those old AstroTurf bounces.
Yeah.
Here's the first pitch to Wogu, and he takes it low for ball 1. Wogu today is 1 for 2. Single back in the first. He lined out in the third inning. And doubleheader tomorrow. That home plate giveaway tomorrow is to the first 1,000 fans. It's a doormat. That's obviously like a home plate. Thanks to Hughes Properties, the first 1,000 fans will get that.
Shocking, a real estate company took that.
1-1 pitch is downstairs, a check swing. Did he go on the appeal? Yes, he did. So it's a ball and 2 strikes on Jordan Wogu. He has a cool story too. Wogu coming out of Michigan. He was a multi-sport guy. Could be a football guy. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lifted out towards shallow left center field. Now drifting back is Rodriguez. Wind pushed it back a lot farther than it seemed off the bat because he kind of got jammed. But he got it out there towards left center field, and catch made by back here at Toyota Field as we make our way to the bottom half of inning number 6. It's 2-0 Trash Pandas back to work. His second inning of relief is Ben Johnson. His second appearance for the Smokies in Lugo. Swings at the first pitch and he pops it up. Foul ground, first base side. Wind drifting back into fair territory. A collision between Ayers and Seamus, but Ayers able to hang on to it as both of them fell to the ground out there, just on the grass behind first base.
This is where the wind plays a factor. It was going to drift into foul ground, then it tailed back on Ayers. And Seamus wanted to hang with it because he has a better angle on the ball, but look at that battle. Ayers is going to win that anytime.
Yeah, little size advantage for him.
Bigger reach, too.
The ball could have very easily dropped. Here's Harold Cole now with 1 out. Johnson kicks and fires, spins off a curveball that is outside.
Actually, Dylan just texted me again, wants me to make it clear that it is Mrs. Colwell's first grade class, not second grade. And Mrs. Colwell, he wants you to know that he's a terrible husband for making that mistake.
1 ball, no strikes. I think you ad-libbed that part. 1-0 pitch is high for a ball. It's 2-0.
Sir, how dare you read my phone?
Oh, boy.
I just report the facts, sir.
That's true. 2 balls, no strikes on Harold. Johnson kicks and delivers. Fastball inside. It's 3-0. Well, Friday night, the fun continues. It's our Star Wars night on Friday. Plus, there's very limited ticket packages available that include a glow-in-the-dark mini bat, plus $5 in loaded value. 3 balls and a strike. He was taken all the way there on 3-0. But it's Star Wars night. Then, of course, fireworks after the game presented by Jackson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Septic, and Electrical, now part of Ace Hardware Home Services. As the 3-1 pitch is fouled back, it's 3-2.
Good job, Chris. I sold that one.
It's very long, but very
effective.
Plus, on Saturday we got fireworks too, and a busy day with that light up cowboy hat giveaway. And Heartland will be here doing a concert. There's a line drive foul off the bat of Cole, and another long at bat for Harold Cole. Many times last week did he work the count full and battle up there. He had 10 RBIs last week in Biloxi. That was only the fourth time in Trash Pandas history a player had double-digit RBIs in a series. 3-2 pitch, popped him up. Right side, foul territory. Ayers is there, the first baseman. That one a little easier over by the Trash Pandas first base dugout. And 2 pop-outs, 2 away, and here comes Nick Rodriguez.
And one thing I would like to ask Tony Jaramillo about Harold, you're right, he puts together these long at-bats, just it doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. Only 2:19 are entering play today. I'm wondering if there's a pitch earlier in the at-bat that maybe he should be handling that he's just not getting right now. I would be interested to hear that perspective.
Crazy thing about Cole is he's still leading the league in RBIs.
Yeah.
With 22. In fact, that's second in all of Double-A baseball. Swing and a miss by Nick. He chased one a little bit high. It was still in the zone, though. Good swing. No balls and a strike on Rodriguez. I know Phil Plantier was spending a lot of time with Harold yesterday, the hitting coordinator for the Angels, who's in town. There's a strike, and it's 0-2 on Nick.
One thing they really work with him, they want him to get that front foot set and then use a lot of torque on his swing. It's a very unique type of setup for Harold.
The 0-2 downstairs to Rodriguez, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
And he's so big and strong and compact, he can still lift the ball out of the yard just using his upper body.
Got some great power.
Yes.
Only 2 home runs so far, but you can see that jumping, especially once we get into the summer months. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Rodriguez. Fouled it straight back off the netting. A good swing. So Ben Johnson. Chance to get out of this inning, and a 1-2-3-6. Trash Pandas have gone in order a couple of times, the first inning and the fourth. Scored a run in the second, a run in the third. As Nick takes a ball, and it's 2-2. It's 2-0 at Rocket City. 2 runs on 6 hits. No runs on 3 hits for Knoxville. How about Joel Hurtado? He's been masterful. Looks like he'll go back out there for the 7th, too. I don't see any activity in Rocket City's bullpen. Now the count's full on Nick, so another full count as Johnson works the count full. Nick stands deep in that box. A pitch to him, a swing and a foul tip. He stays alive. Catcher Armas couldn't quite hang on to it.
Isn't it interesting to see how different organizations handle their pitching? You got a guy like Rojas, who wasn't great, wasn't awful, but after 4 innings, they said that's it. Meanwhile, the Trash Pandas and the Angels, they've got Hurtado, who could be working into the 7th inning here.
3-2 payout pitch is headed home. Swing and a broken bat flare out towards shallow left center field. It's going to drop, a base hit. Well, he sacrificed his work club there, but he has himself a base hit. He's on base for the 2nd time now after being hit by a pitch in that 2nd inning. So 1 for 2 for Nick. And it extends the inning now for Josh Crouch. Another good at-bat. It results in a base hit. By the way, Johnson's first appearance was on the 24th last week against Chattanooga. He was given a blown save, but ended up getting the win as the Smokies won that game late. First pitch of ball to Josh, who today is 1 for 2. He pitched 3 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits. Walked 1, struck out 5 in his first outing with the Smokies. Johnson's ready, and the 1-0. Speed pitch. That's a nice breaking ball, but it was just off the outside corner, but he got the call. First season with the Smokies. He was called up to Double-A on the 24th, pitched that day. Had 4 relief appearances for Low-A Myrtle Beach before that. Spins off a slider that time that's low. Josh Crouch, he and Miles Emerson handled the pitching staff all season last year. We've already used 3 catchers this year. Only 2 were used all of last year. That was the only team in minor league baseball. The trash bin is where they used 2 catchers. There's a swing and a line shot out towards center field, but right at the center field. Well, a tip of the cap to Joel Hurtado. There was a little activity in that bullpen, and the trash pandas are going to make a pitching change. And coming on is the left-hander Leonard Garcia. He's got good speed from the bullpen coming in as he'll take over on the hill. Final line on Hurtado. He was brilliant. 6 innings of work for Hurtado. Allows no runs on 3 hits. Didn't walk a batter. Struck out 2. And got 6 groundouts. Make it 7 groundouts in the outing. So the left-hander Garcia takes over. And he faces off against Owen Ayers. It'll be the 3-4-5 hitters as he swings at the first, drives it out towards deep center field. Rodriguez going back, and he makes the catch. Just shy of the warning track. Rowdy had, like I mentioned earlier, several of those back past him in center field, and he got a great jump on this one.
Yeah, you can tell from watching him last week in Biloxi, he just wasn't comfortable with the surroundings. But here he's gotten used to this ballpark, and he just sees it so much better off the bat.
It's the 8th appearance for Garcia's. There's Jefferson Rojas. 0 for 2 so far today is Rojas. Garcia fires, and that first pitch is a strike called right on the outside corner. Garcia, his 8th appearance, no record. He has a 4.35 earned run average. Here's the 0-1, swung on, broken bat, bloop out towards left field, down the line. That's going to drop, and it's going to bounce towards the warning track. Rounding first base, heading for second base is Rojas, and he is going to get there with a double. I could promise he broke his bat on that swing, but he got it out towards deep left field, got up in that wind, and he ends up with a double.
See the bat boy with it. I don't think they, if he didn't break it, he certainly was jammed on the pitch, but you're right, rather remarkable his strength able to get it out there that far.
Exit velo was only 81, so it certainly wasn't on the barrel, but he'll certainly take the double, and that's his 3rd on the year. First pitch in, a ball to Andy Garriola. So Rojas in scoring position at second base. 4th hit for the Smokies, 2-0 Rocket City as we play here in the top of the 7th inning. Garcia delivers, and the pitch grounded softly towards the right side. Flint over to get it, the first baseman had to go a long way, And Garcia there covering the bag. Takes the toss. 3-1 on the putout. Now 2 away. Runner goes to third, Rojas. And the batter now will be Edgar Alvarez.
Got to give a lot of credit to Tucker Flynn. Obviously, he's going to see a lot of first base, at least this week. He's gotten more and more comfortable over there game by game. That was a play maybe last year I'm not sure if he would have made, but he made that one look easy.
Opponents are batting .243 against the left-hander Garcia coming in, 9 for 37. Lefty on lefty here as Edgar Alvarez takes a strike. Right at the top of the strike zone. Garcia signed by the Angels as a minor league free agent back in 2019. Last year, spent all the campaign between the low A and high A affiliates. 5-4, 3.77 ERA. He's the only southpaw that we have on the pitching staff. One ball, one strike on Alvarez. He's that wide open stance. Holds the bat up high. The pitch to him is taken for a strike. That time he hit the outside corner at the knees, and it's 1-2.
Remember, he almost got the save on Saturday. He went 2 1/3 innings, but faltered in the 9th inning, and they had to go to Victor to wrap the game up. But still, very good outing for Garcia on, what was that, Friday?
24th. Yeah, that was Friday. He gave up a run, but it was an unearned run. Ended up striking out 4, walking 1, but he was really good. He's gone 2 or more innings in each of his last 3 outings. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That one misses upstairs, and it's 2-2. Alvarez entering play today with 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. Had a tough series against Chattanooga. He was 1 for 17, but that one hit was a home run. Kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He blows the fastball by him at 94. And Garcia will strand that runner at third base. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. And as we stretch here at Toy. Back here at Toyota Field, where Rocket City leads it 2-0. As the new pitcher, Tyler Ross, is the new pitcher for Knoxville. Third pitcher used for them in this ball game. First pitch, swinging, Matt McCroskey pops it up into shallow right field. Drifting back to second baseman Seamus, he'll make the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out for Ross, who makes his 7th appearance. Comes in with a 1-0 record, a 2.45 earned run average.
Well, Chris, I want to congratulate you. Your rubbed up baseballs are doing some wonders today.
Yeah.
Chrissy,
Wade Meckler.
Chrissy was down on the field before the game getting those new baseballs broken in.
Yeah. Rubbed up a few dozen baseballs this morning.
Now, what do you guys use to rub it up? Is it still Mississippi mud?
It's Delaware, from the Delaware River.
That's the thing. It's not really from Mississippi. It's from the eastern seaboard.
Yeah. No balls and a strike on Meckler. Here's an 0-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up back foul, and out of play. Shout out to all our clubhouse folks down there, Bubba and Luke. Tell you what, these even with a rain out last night, still had to do all the laundry. And they both slept here. No balls, 2 strikes on Meckler. Has a homer in the ball game. Takes that one downstairs, 1-2. And this morning they were crazy, and I saw some baseballs that were just sitting there and just got it done.
Using Mississippi mud from the Delaware.
The Delaware River.
You know, when you were in Mississippi, or when we were in Mississippi, we could have scrounged up some dirt, brought it on over.
Yeah, that's some good old farming soil. Pitch fouled straight back.
By the way, we have an attendance figure, 6,086. 6086.
One and two on Meckler. That home run was back in the 3rd inning. The 1-2 pitch. It's down and in for a ball, 2-2. Top hitter in the Southern League. And now we're going to have the umpires get together to talk about something.
I might be about the pitch clock. I don't know if it's still working or not.
Looks like the ones behind home plate are. The one in center field, they've had some issues with that one because of the construction going on out there in the fiber.
That is Kaz Cousins on the walkie-talkie. He's the first base umpire.
Yeah. That's I know it's been frustrating. But with all that construction going on out there, it's been an issue as they, because what it does, it doesn't go off, but it'll just sort of
flicker.
It'll hold. It'll count down, but it'll get stuck on a number. It'll be at like 12, and then all of a sudden goes down to 8.
Now it's back up, but it's according to the half-inning clock. So right now at 2 minutes. Usually what happens in this situation, they either keep it on the field or they just let it go.
Yeah, usually just let it go. Because, I mean, the batter has to be able to see that clock in the outfield. You have one over by first base, one over on third base, and it looks like Kaz Cousins is going to go out there and tell his the pitcher there, Ross, that whatever is going to happen, they're not going to use the pitch clock right now. And same thing happened with home plate umpire Drew Buffelli talking to Lance Reimel, their skipper.
Speaking of which, Ross from Middletown, New Jersey, he could brought us some of that rich goodness from the Delaware River over for those baseballs. It's not too far.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Meckler as the at-bat continues now. Ross fires, and the pitch fouled straight back. Third pitcher used today. The final line on Johnson. He works 2 innings behind Rojas. No runs on 2 hits allowed. Walked 1, did not strike out a batter. Ross, by the way, RAS. Roddy fires and a fastball just inside that time. It's a full count, 3-2 on Meckler. Wade, who got to the big leagues with the Giants in 2023, after he was drafted by the Giants, it took him 10 months, and he was in the big leagues. Pitch inside, ball 4, he walked him. So Meckler is aboard his 2nd walk drawn today. He's been on base now 3 times. And here comes Gustavo Campera. I thought with Wade, I mean, he's a great dude, number 1, but he's just very business-like. And you bring up, well, I know you didn't really see yourself being in Double-A, and you could see on his face, well, no. You definitely don't want to be in Double-A, but, you know, he's got to play every day. And one thing about Meckler, he knows about this game. There's, by the way, the Astro Wheel. They're getting set for the big old ballpark fair that'll get started next week.
But he's had the right idea, right? You know you need to play every day, so it doesn't matter if it's Double-A, Triple-A, or the majors. You just need to be out there every day.
A couple of injuries, and boom, you're back in the big leagues. Here's Campero. Runner goes, ground ball, yanked foul, past first base. Meckler was off on the pitch that time. He'll have to go back to first.
And by the way, it should be noted, is he being paid like a AA player? I would highly doubt it. I'm sure he's making a little more than most guys because of his major league time.
He was claimed off waivers. If you don't understand what that means, he was designated for assignment by the Giants, taken off the 40-man roster, and then the Angels put a claim in for him. Now part of this Angels organization. The 1-1 pitch goes all the way to the backstop. Netting bounces back to Armas, but into second base goes Meckler, as that one was quite a bit taller than the reach of Armas.
This is just an oopsie that you like to have back.
Look at the...
Yeah.
We have the digital dashboard that shows where pitches are. This one went out of the screen. 2 balls and a strike on Campero. A strikeout and a ground out so far today. Next to him, swing and a drive deep towards right field. Trice going back to the track, and a play it off the track, and it bounces over the wall for a ground roll double. So Meckler will score, and Campero into second base with an RBI ground roll double, his 10th on the year, and it's now 3-0 Rocket City here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
That's a 4-seam fastball inside, but we've seen it several times before. Campero more than quick enough to get around on that baseball, and even with the wind blowing the other way, he was still able to bite it into the teeth and get it over the head of Trice.
4th double on the year for Campero, and one of those kids, look at that. It's like ants going after a breadcrumb. Here's Rowdy Rodriguez. RBI chance for Rowdy, who has been quiet today, 0 for 3. Swinging a ground ball hard, hit back up the middle. Great backhanded play by Seamus, but nobody's at first base, and everybody's going to be safe.
Ayers thought that ball was ticketed to center field. He was going to go play cutoff man from the middle of the diamond, but a great backhand by Seamus. Like you said, unfortunately for the Smokies, no one was there to cover the base. Great play by Seamus to stick it in his pocket. He tried to throw behind the runner at third, Campero, to see if maybe Gus would make too big of a turn, but a good base running play by Campero.
That was hit hard. 110 off the bat of Rowdy Rodriguez. That'll go down as a base hit. 9 hits now for Rocket City. First pitch, a ball to Tucker Flint. Only 1 out, so Campero's at third. And Rodriguez, the runner at first base. Big hole on the left side of the infield right now. And with his ability to just shoot one the opposite way, I might try to do that here. Big day so far for Flint. A late break at first base, and Rowdy's going to take second with a steal. That's his 8th stolen base on the year.
By the way, just to finish up your point on Wade Meckler.
Yeah.
When he was with the Giants, who was the GM? Zach Maniason.
Yep.
Who's his brother? Perry.
Yep.
You got to think they've talked before about him.
Yep. Wade just had injuries kind of plagued him in 24 and 25. 2-0 pitch, down and in for a ball. Infield is in, by the way, for the Smokies here. For that play at the plate, it's a 3-0 game. Boy, I tell you what, if you could score 1 or 2 more, you're feeling awful good about yourself. It was against the Smokies where Rocket City did blow a 7-run lead, so you don't want that to happen, obviously. First pitch, or the next offering, the 3-0 to Flint, taken for ball 4. As that pitch is outside, and he walked him. So 2 walks in the inning issued by Ross. And the bases are loaded now for Matthew Lugo. And quickly out to the mound, pitching coach George Thanopoulos, as the entire infield will come in on this conversation. Oh, we have a quick second. Let's go ahead and take our top of the hour station ID. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Well, the kids are still here.
Yes, they are. It's amazing what happens when you put up a noise meter by One Love Hearing and let them just let it out. All 6,000 of them.
Just over 6,000 the attendance today. Infield still in. First pitch to Lugo, base hit left field on a line. 1 run's going to score, Campero. Here comes Rowdy, he's going to score. And it's now 5-0 Rocket City on a 2-run single by Matthew Lugo.
See where this was. Yeah, just another fastball inside. Lugo, that's a big league hitter. He's going to be able to handle that most times. And with that left side wide open, he just slapped it through there, and that may have been the knockout blow.
Yep. So you're up 5-0 now. As Harold Cole's the batter. 2 on, still only 1 out. They scramble some activity in that Smokies bullpen as he misses outside for ball 1 to Cole. So Roz in relief, having some difficulties here. Tyler looks out towards second base, and Flint the pitch. Cut on a miss that time. He got a piece of it. Tapped it foul. 3 walks in the last 2 innings issued by Smokies pitchers. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, now 5-0. 10 hits for Rocket City. Remember, this team is averaging 6.3 runs per game, so getting close to that mark here. Top scoring team in the Southern League. As that curveball drops in and I guess barely catches that inside corner at the top of the zone. And it's 1-2 on Harold Cole. So Flynn at second base. Lugo's put together some really nice ABs. He's got 3 RBIs today. The 1-2 in the dirt. Backhanded stop by the catcher Armas, though. Saves a wild pitch. 2-2. Now, you know the thing I love the most so far in this game, though?
What do you love, Chris?
That goose egg.
On 4 hits.
Especially when you come in with an ERA over 6. Well, it's nice to see. That's how you take a dent into that. Here's a swing and a chopper off the end of the bat, back to the pitcher. Oh, and the throw goes off the second baseman. Seamus' glove and goes into left center field. Flint comes around to score. To third base goes Lugo. And that one just went right through the wickets of Seamus, the second baseman. That could have been an inning-ending double play.
Let's take a look at this again. I think Seamus was thinking double play before he had the ball. Yeah, that's on him.
That's a miscatch error. That will continue this inning, and it is now 6-0. Here comes Lance Reimel. If you're Roz, you got to be thinking, my goodness, what else could I have done there? As he got the ground ball and tried to start the double play. So a pitching change being made here by the Smokies, turning into a very big inning for Rocket City. Already 4 runs in and still only 1 out. Pitching change, we'll tell you who it is when we come back. All Rocket City here at Toyota Field. This is Trash Pandas Baseball, the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network, and Valley Sports Live. It's a fielder's choice. Chris Harris, Josh Carey with you from Toyota Field, where the Trash Pandas lead it by the score of 6-0. Looking to add some more to it now, as there are runners at the corners and only 1 out, as Nick Rodriguez will stand in and bat from that left side. New pitcher on for the Knoxville. That's the first time I've done that this year. This is Evan Taylor, the left-hander. First pitch is a strike on the inside corner.
But he's a Florence, Alabama native.
He is a Florence, Alabama Shoals guy. As Nick takes the strike. Infield still in for Knoxville as the pitch cut on a miss there by Nick, and the count's quickly 0-2. From Florence, played his college baseball in Arkansas. Signed as a free agent in 2025 with the Chicago Cubs. Taylor is 6'4", 250 pounds. The left-hander. Here's an 0-2 pitch on the way to Rodriguez. Runner goes from first, a pump fake, but no throw. And an easy stolen base for Harold Cole. That's his 5th. After the error, Lugo went to third. Of course, Flett scored on it. And now Cole at second base. And here's Josh Crouch as Nick goes down on strikes. It was a strikeout, but he did get the stolen base, so now runners at second and third. And here's Josh Crouch, who's the 9th batter of the inning. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Well, if you're Evan Taylor, you're just trying to come in and kind of stop the bleeding. Crouch today is 1 for 3. Taylor kicks and delivers a pitch outside low. It's a ball and a strike. So far it's a 4-run bottom of the 7th inning. You love to see it. There's a 1-1 now to Crouch. Pitch down and in for a ball. So another game in which Rocket City has scored 6 runs. They've scored 4 or more runs now in 20 of 22 games. Second highest scoring start to a season through 21 games since 2005 in the Southern League. The 2-1, swinging a bouncer back to the screen foul.
And it should be noted, the reason why we say 2005, that's only how far the records go back.
The digital era.
Yeah.
He went to Florence High School, did Evan Taylor. 4 years at Arkansas, 2018 through 2022. He had a 5-0 record, a 4.58 career ERA for the Hogs. A 2-2, swing and a miss. Maybe got a piece of. Seven innings are in the books here at Toyota Field. Rocket City leads it 6-0. Got your 4 runs, Josh. It's 6-0. Now take us home.
Yeah, I did the heavy lifting. You just rode in on my coattails. It's
Oh,
okay.
come
It's
on.
okay. Here's Leonard Garcia facing the bottom third of the order. Trice, Armas, and Seamus. Here in the 8th inning, it's 6-0. Good guys as the fastball is a strike. 0-1 to Trice, who's 1 of 2, a single and a fly out to left. And as star-crossed, I guess, as the pitching rotation and the pitching staff has been, here's the 0-1.
That misses low, a ball and a strike. How nice is it to look up at the video board and see no runs on only 4 hits? It's been a good day for the Hurlers to this point. Left on right as the next pitch on the way is a swing and a miss, a fastball that time by Garcia. Trice comes up empty. It's at 1-2.
By the way, both teams are going to go bullpen in game 2 tomorrow. So
Yes.
game 1, you got Gonzalez against Kip, and a bullpen day in game 2.
In a perfect world, you'd like to see Garcia go the rest of the way, but we don't know what the pitch count is as he's well ahead on Trice. Back to the belt. 1-2 on the way. Fastball high and away, 2-2. Now, I brought up how the differences between how the Angels handle their pitchers compared to the Cubs. What's interesting about seeing this specifically today, Yenry Rojas was pitching a pretty good ball game. He left after 4, which is pretty much on par with what the Cubs do at this level with their starters. The next pitch is a fastball high, 3-2. But the one problem we have with that, and we saw this when we were in Knoxville, 2 different times in close ball games, they had to turn to a position player to pitch because they just ran out of people.
That's right.
And we'll see if that impacts them during the doubleheader tomorrow. 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. A high and tight fastball. Trice comes up empty. Strikeout number 2 for Garcia. Strikeout number 4 for Rocket City pitching. And 1 out in the 8th inning for Ariel Armas. As you look at it again, change the eye level, and that thing just rode in and high and tight on Trice, who couldn't lay off. 1 away for Armas, who's 0 of 2. A rollout to first, a bouncer to the mound. This is a left-on-right matchup, as off the line at first is Flint. The delivery. That one will miss low. That was a slider. 1 ball and no strikes to the right-handed hitter. Wind continues to blow out toward left, but the workers are back. They were off for a whole hour for their lunch break, then came on back. They're back to work getting that clubhouse ready. Here's the 1-0. Fastball bounced softly to first. To his left to field near the line is Flint. He'll run to the bag in time. That's out number 2. 3 unassisted. And 2 quick outs in the 8th inning for Carson Seamus. He's 1 for 2. A fly out to right and a bunt single. And some of the kids are already making their way back to school. They've got I'm sure another yellow dog to hit in a couple of hours to go home. But great to have them. We got 2 more education days left, but both will be on the road. That's next Wednesday at Pensacola and then one final time against Birmingham. Left on right, the first pitch. And he took something off that misses outside. It's 0-1, a slider that time. Rocket City, if they can hang on to the goose egg, it would be their first shutout of the season. Next pitch, there's another strike, another slider. Going to even out 1-1, so a little something to shoot for. You remember 2 weeks back when they were beating up on Birmingham on the first education day, they had a shutout until the 8th inning when the Barons pushed across a couple of runs. Here's the 1-1. There's another strike and another slider. He's going slider heavy right now is Garcia. It's 1-2, and he'll try to wrap up the inning.
I was looking back at when the last shutout was. It was actually September 2nd last year, 1-0
Against these guys. Yeah.
against these guys in Knoxville. It was Wilbert Urania.
Here's the 1-2. Swung and hit foul at home plate. He just got a piece of it to stay alive. Ball and 2 strikes. That was the last road win of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a 1-0 game in 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Garcia wants a new baseball. We were on par for something like that today. Then we got slowed down a little bit in that 7th inning, but for all the right reasons. 4 runs, 3 of them earned for the Trash Pandas as they lead at 6-0. Garcia will try to wrap up the inning as he gets the new ball. From the belt, the 1-2, missing inside. Slider again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking in that Knoxville pin, I don't see anyone throwing, so my guess is we'll see Taylor again in the 8th inning. They set up inside, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got the fastball by him. That one at 93. That was a sinker that time. He changed it up on him. Seamus We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Trash Pandas leading at 6-0. And due up for Rocket City, the 9-1-2 hitters, McCroskey, Meckler, and Campero against Evan Taylor, the 4th pitcher of the game for the Smokies. And the first pitch to Mack is slap foul off to the right. It's 0-1. McCroskey 1 for 3, a single back in the 5th. He's also popped to second and struck out swinging. The Trash Pandas batted around in the 7th, put 4 on the board, and they've done so on 10 hits for the game. The 0-1 from Taylor. And he took something off. They appeal on the check swing. He did not go around, says first base umpire Kaz Cousins. 1 ball and 1 strike. Due up in the 9th for the Smokies. It'll be the top of their order. Ramirez, Wogu, and Ayers. And we'll see if Rocket City sticks with Garcia as they look for their first shutout of the year. Next pitch is called strike 2. That was a slider right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind still blowing out toward left. Off the line at first is Ayers. We'll look back in. The left-hander Taylor into his wind, in the delivery, and the fastball misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris has already given you the pitching matchup for tomorrow. Should be noted on Friday. It'll be Ryan Costu going to the hill for Rocket City against Tyler Schlafer. So we'll be back to the regular start time then. The pitch is swung on and missed. Got the slider by him. Actually, it was a sinker down and in. Coming up empty, McCroskey, second time he's K'd. That is strikeout number 3 by Taylor, who struck out all 3 men he's faced. 1 out in the 8th inning, back to the top of the order, and Wade Meckler.
It's kind of deceptive. That was a sinker at 85, really a changeup, basically is what that was. But he's been very effective. Has that kind of deception in his delivery.
Left on left against Meckler as the first pitch is a slider outside 1-0. He can make a career out of this. He's a left-hander. He's got a deceptive delivery, and he locates well. You got those 3 things, you'll find a job somewhere. Meckler, open stance, next pitch. There's a strike. That was a slider again. Going to go to 1-1. Meckler, hard to believe he started the day with a strikeout, but since then, solo homer, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored.
He had to get woken up, you know.
That was his little caffeine burst.
Yeah.
Huh? Next pitch cut through and miss. Another slider. Going to go to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Meckler. As the Trash Pandas are 3 outs away from moving to 10-12. Knoxville 3 outs away from falling to 10-12. Off the line at third, Alvarez. Here's the 1-2. Missing away that time with a sinker. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's the funny thing. You look at the Northern Division right now. It's Chattanooga, and then the other 3 teams are pretty much bunched up. Wade stands back in. 2-2. Just missed outside. Threw him another slider, and it was just off the plate. The count will run to 3 balls and 2 strikes on Meckler. Taylor ready. Near the line at first is Ayers. 3-2, here it is. Called strike 3. So he'll start and end the day with strikeouts, will Meckler, but it's what he did in between that made a difference. That was a slider that caught the inner part of the plate. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Taylor. And that's the 10th strikeout of the game for Smokies pitchers. Remember, Rojas had 6 to start things off. 2 up, 2 gone. Here's Gus Campero. 1 of 3, an RBI double, a ground rule double. Also a run scored, a fielder's choice on a bunt, a pop-up of third, and a strikeout looking as the first pitch is down and away. 1-0 to Gus on the sinker.
Well, you've really set up this series nicely with the pitching you've gotten today from your starter and now your bullpen.
The 1-0 slap foul at third off the third base camera well. A ball and a strike. And again, with a doubleheader tomorrow, you know you're going to be somewhat limited.
And that's something you really haven't done much. This is the 5th series of the year.
Yeah.
And you know, early in the series, you've had to use tons of guys out of the bullpen. Today, it's kind of gone as scheduled, and that just hasn't happened.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that misses away. Another sinker, 2-1. And for those who don't know, in minor league baseball, especially at this level, AAA, it's a little different, but at this level, a lot of guys are told in advance what days they're pitching. But if one game goes haywire, that can switch things around. As the next pitch, it's called strike 2. He went around anyway on the slider down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Taylor will try to go 5 for 5. 5 men up and 5 strikeouts. And once you throw everything off, it's kind of hard to get back on track until you can get to that off day. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, taps softly to third. Coming in and up is Alvarez. Throw to first is in time, so Campero breaks out the strikeout streak, but still a nice. So Rocket City indeed will go back to the bullpen. This is going to be Kenyon Yovan on the pitch, and he'll face the top of the order. Ramirez, Wogu, and Ayers all due up. Josh Carey with you. Brody Hogan back in Mission Command. And heading down to the field is Chris Harris as he'll talk to a winning Trash Panda, assuming Rocket City can wrap this up. Good outing for Leonard Garcia. 2 shutout innings, 1 hit, no walks, and 3 strikeouts for Rocket City, as he is done for the day. Meanwhile, assuming the game ends here, Evan Taylor for the Smokies. He faced 5 men. He retired them all for them by way of strikeout in an inning and 2/3. Nicely done by him. So Yovan will go to work right on right against Ramirez, who's 0 for 3. First pitch is a cutter that'll be called a strike, 0-1. Ramirez, a 6-4-3 double play, a rollout to short, and a strikeout swinging. Yovan, I'm trying to think the last time we saw him. I think it was last Wednesday, but I'll make sure of that. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball of beauty. A swing and a miss. A slider well off the plate, and still he got Ramirez to chase. It goes to 0-2. And yeah, it was last Wednesday. That was the game where Rocket City fell short on Education Day, 6-5 and 10 to Biloxi. Here's the 0-2. Slider, a swing and a miss, strike 3, down and away in the dirt. Good backhand pick by Crouch, as fanning at it is Ramirez. Strikeout number 1 for Yovan. Strikeout number 6 for Rocket City pitching. 1 up and 1 gone in the 9th inning for Jordan Wogu. Jordan 1 of 3, a single, a line out to second, a fly out to center. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. But anyway, Yovan, if you forget, came on in the 9th inning, retired the first 2 men with ease. He was 1 out away from a save. Then a single, a walk, and a 2-run double by Blake Burke tied the game as the pitch is laced down into center, but moving to his left easily to make the catch, over-the-shoulder catch in right center is Rowdy Rodriguez. That'll be out number 2 as Wogu goes after the first pitch, and the last chance for the Smokies will be Owen Ayers. He's 0 for 3, a strikeout swinging, and 2 flyouts to center. But anyway, Yovan gave up the RBI double, then another single before he got Bovey to bounce out to the mound to end the inning. So he'll try to wrap it up right here. This is a non-save situation. Ayers waits. This is a righty on lefty matchup. And the first pitch inside, he almost hit him. 1 ball and no strikes. So a good day at the office for Rocket City, as they're now an out away from that first shutout of the year. Off the line at third is Cole. Playing almost directly behind the bag at second is the shortstop, McCroskey. Next offering. Swung on, popped up. This should do it. Into shallow left, out is Cole. He drifts now a little bit, still makes the backhanded snare about 20 feet out. He makes the grab, a pop up to third by Ayers. 1-2-3 go the Smokies in the 9th inning, and the Trash Pandas are a winner today by the final score of 6-0, as Jovan only needed about 6 or 7 pitches to wrap that one up. For Jovan, 1 inning, no hits, no runs. He walked none, struck out 1, and we'll go ahead and total things up right here. For Knoxville, no runs. They had only 4 hits today, and the Smokies committed 1 error. Knoxville left 3 men on base. As for Rocket City, the Trash Pandas had 6 runs on 10 hits. The Trash Pandas committed no errors, and Rocket City 6. They left 8 men on base. Your winning pitcher, Ohel Hurtado, he had a good one as he goes 6 shutout innings, 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Yinri Rojas, the loss, he falls to 0-2 as Rojas went 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs both earned, no walks, and 6 strikeouts, no save. And the time of game today was a quick one, 2 hours and 16 minutes, and played in front of 6,086. For those of you on radio, we're just waiting for Chris Harris to get with a Trash Panda here, so he'll have an on-field interview. You won't be able to hear that on radio. For those of you on TV or the streaming, you will be able to see that, and we're now just waiting for Chris to find someone before we can go to break. But again, for Rocket City, they win this one 6-0. They are now 10-12 on the season. Meanwhile, the Smokies, they are also 10-12, and it's going to be Wade Meckler meeting with Chris. So for those of you on radio, the Northrop Grumman postgame show is coming up right after this. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Panda Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. And for those of you
Appreciate
on
it.
TV,
So
let's go
down
to
here
Chris.
with Wade Meckler. And first of all, Wade, you hit a home run, but let's talk about the pitching staff today. Joel Hurtado, 6 innings of scoreless baseball. The bullpen covers it. How was it to get a shutout today?
Yeah, it's great to spend a lot of time in the dugout and not a lot of time on the field. And when pitchers are working quick like that, getting ahead of guys, and just getting out of innings quick, it takes a lot of pressure off the offense.
You had a couple of big moments in this ball game. Let's talk about that play you made out in right field. Going towards the line, wind was blowing out, so walk me through that diving catch out there in right field.
Yeah, wind kind of held it up a little bit, blown out to left field. We were shaded towards the line a little bit and got a good read on it and was able to get there and helped out by the wind a little bit.
You struck out in your first at bat, but you clearly made an adjustment. You got on base the next 3 times up. Home run, your team leading 4th of the year, and you go the opposite way.
Yeah, he made some good pitches in the first at bat and adjusted off that based on what he was doing, and yeah, it worked out.
I like the haircut. You're looking nice and clean. The mustache is great. Hey, appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Wade Meckler, our star of the game. He's also leading the league in batting, coming into today at 379. So that's Wade Meckler, everybody. Big win today, a shutout for the Trash Pandas. Back to you, Ben and Josh.
Okay, Chris, thank you so much. For those of you on 31.6 WAAY, have a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow, 6:30 airtime, 6:35 first pitch for Game 2 of this 6-game set between Rocket City and Knoxville. For Chris Harris and for everyone with the Trash Pandas, this is Josh Carey saying so long, everyone. Again, Rocket City wins this on this winning afternoon, 6-0. We'll see you next time down the road.